So, bro, y'all know the like button don't like itself. Yeah. Let me say that to you again. You know the like button don't like itself. Yeah. The share button don't share itself. And the subscribe button don't subscribe itself. That's all up to you. So help the like button be liked, help the subscribe button be subscribed, and help the share button be shared by pressing them with these things right here you got. They're called fingers. Bing, bang, 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 bang. Please. Thank you. Let's get started with the show. Hold on one second. We're about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The one and only James Williams, Dark Waters, and I'm back. And I want to start this morning by some of the news that you're going to be seeing throughout the day. And I think it's important that you understand this. Media outlets weigh boycotting the White House to support AP's feud over Gulf of America. Now, if you're not aware, the Trump White House threw the AP out because they kept referring to the Gulf of America as the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, let's show you this real quick. And here's Caitlin Collins with her Joker smile. But let's let you take a listen to this so you understand where we're going next. And this is a great thing. I hope they do boycott. I hope they're that dumb and they think they have that much power that they can boycott the White House. It's going to be the greatest thing on the planet. I hope all of them boycott because it's going to be phenomenal for content creators. But here's the contention.
I don't think for you. Which White House official made the decision to bar the AP reporter from the...
You notice how she has that Joker smile where the side of her lips just turn up? You know who else has that demonic smile? Karen Bass. And the funny thing to me is all these demon-infused women have that same smile. Or like Milk Dud. If you look at Milk Dud, she has the same stupid, demonically infused smile. That is Jezebel you're looking at right there, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Jezzy.
The Oval Office and the diplomatic reception room last night.
Well, first of all, let me just set the record straight. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege to be the White House press secretary. And nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given. And there are hundreds of outlets on this campus. Many of you in this room who don't have the privilege of being part of that pool every single day and getting to ask the President questions. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office, and you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press, who is in this briefing room today.
But isn't it retaliatory in nature is the argument, because the reason that the AP was barred, which they said was because they're not using the phrase Gulf of America, they're using Gulf of Mexico in line with their standards. And so the question here is this setting a precedent that this White House will retaliate against reporters who don't use the language that you guys believe?
See, I wish I was in there. Because see, this is where the real media would come in. Because, see, I would interfere. I would say, excuse me, Caitlin Collins. I know you're talking to her, but you do realize the American people don't care about the Associated Press, right? The only people that care about the Associated Press are you guys in this room. The American people don't care about you. And I'd be like, I'm sorry. That's probably breaking protocol, but we don't care about the Associated Press. We don't care that you're going to boycott. You have this inflated sense of worth, and the problem is the White House in general, as an office, has given you guys this inflated sense of worth.
Reporters should use, and how does that align with the First Amendment commitment that you were just talking about?
I was very upfront in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that the official designation in the geographical identification name server, and Apple has recognized that, Google has recognized that, pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America, and it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world.
Yep, and the signal that you give to the rest of the world is that you are in rebellion against the office of the President of the United States, and so you should be thrown out. I don't even know why Caitlin Collins, old Joker smile behind, is still in the White House press briefing room. I don't even know why CNN has a place in there. There's no value to CNN whatsoever. I mean, all they're going to do is attack. But anyway, on to the story itself. So, CNN media elites weigh boycott of White House to support AP's feud over Gulf of America. So CNN is saying that they're going to boycott, and probably them and a couple other established media outlets are saying that they're going to boycott the White House, because of this. Establishment media are weighing whether or not to boycott the White House events to support the Associated Press feud with the White House press office, allowing Breitbart to take their places, CNN reported Friday. Because the AP refuses to recognize the Gulf of America as its official name, the White House barred its reporters from covering 3 events in the Oval Office, causing the AP to threaten legal action. They don't have a legal right. It's a privilege. Nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Wednesday. If we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. CNN Brian Stelter, who falsely claimed Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation, wrote Friday that many of his media colleagues have suggested the mass boycott of the White House press coverage, allowing Breitbart to take their places. Listen, here's the fact of the matter, ladies and gentlemen. The mainstream, lamestream media is dead. There was a study that came out and showed that more people are watching YouTube on their television than watching it on their phones. What does that mean? That means instead of going into, and there's cable TV is very hard to get. There's an age of people, a group of people who watch cable television. And those people, unfortunately, are up in age and they are elderly. So as those elderly people transition to go on with our Father in heaven, or some of them go to burn in the flames of hell, whichever direction they're going, we don't know. This whole CNN mainstream media crap is dead. And this is the death throes of the mainstream media. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Many readers have asked me what other news outlets are doing to support the AP. Some have suggested a mass boycott is in order. Consider the possibility, however, that the Trump White House wants this fight, wants journalists to act like opponents instead of observers. In the entire press pool, if the entire press pool skipped a Trump photo op in solidarity with the AP, wouldn't the White House welcome Breitbart and One America News to take their place? You're damn right. My sense is that the AP editors and their peers at other media institutions are having back-channel conversations about what to do. This means he knows what they're doing. We have to be strategic, one top editor told me, and keep covering the White House without just accepting how the AP has been treated. The AP, meanwhile, was moving ahead with a potential legal challenge. As one staffer remarked, it's hard to come up with a clear case of viewpoint discrimination. The AP, this staffer said, would argue that the motive has already been established, though Caroline Leavitt's comments to Caitlin Collins at the press conference through the Caroline Leavitt's comments to Caitlin Collins at the press briefing on Wednesday. So their intention is to sue the White House and saying that they're discriminating against them based on point of view. So revoke their press pass. What you going? A judge is going to say, I got to have you in the White House? You crazy. You absolutely crazy. I would never fight that battle. And I hope and I pray that all of them get together and band together and say, yeah, we're not going to cover the White House. I hope you dumb, backwards thinking fools do that. I hope you do it. I hope you do it. Won't you do it? You dumb. That's just dumb. But try it. It's going to end so bad. It's going to end so bad so fast that if I got word and I was Donald Trump that you was getting with them to do this, I'm pulling your press pass too. And I'm going to pull somebody like, what's the dude name? Benny in there. I'll pull Officer Tatum in there. Boy, I pull so many people in there so quick that you would feel like your head would be spinning. Hell, I'll pull in Salty Cracker in there. I would pull Alex Jones in just to piss everybody off. If you wanted to send them in a panic, pull Alex Jones in there and have Alex Jones in there asking questions, and it's going to go crazy. Yeah, I would use Alex Jones as my hammer. I will roll out the Infowars hammer. Let me show you the hammer. Infowars. I will roll out the Alex Jones hammer. Where you at, Alex? Let me see your face. Show your face. Say something, Alex. Are you on here talking? That's not Alex. Where you at, Alex? Alex. I will roll out the Alex Jones hammer. Yeah. Where you at, Alex? Let me go to band.video. You going to be here somewhere. I just need to see your face. Where you at, big homie?
And as the judge in his
That's not
case
him. I won't see his
noted,
face. There he is right
Sweden's
there.
law-
Right here. I would roll out the Alex Jones hammer. See this hammer right here? That one. That one right there. The new modified Alex Jones hammer. The weight lost modified Alex Jones hammer. The new GMO Alex Jones hammer is what I would roll out into the press conference room. And if that mad savage right there goes into the press room, oh boy. Boy. Now people gonna say, I don't like Alex Jones, he's a shield. James Williams does not care about what you like. If you ain't figured that out about the dark waters, that we don't care in this water what you like and what you don't like, you might need to get your little floaties. Because we got people that get in the dark waters. We got submarines, we got battleships, we got people who got floaties. You might have some floaties on, and that's okay. But let me pop the little floaty. Boop, boop. We don't care. As a whole, the Dark Waters family gives zero F's about that kind of stuff. That's what needs to go into the press briefing room. That right there. That damn Optimus Prime needs to go in there. So keep on playing, and y'all gonna have Optimus Prime go in there. And I'll be so happy. I'll be rejoicing and laughing because, quite frankly, he should have been in there already. That man right there has done more to save America than hell. Shit, outside of Elon Musk and Donald Trump, he's done more than anybody. And he get dishonored left and right. I don't dishonor you, Alex. I think it's phenomenal what you've done for this nation. I think it's phenomenal. Juxtaposed to this raisin head, caterpillar eye wearing, demonic smile having thing right here, who just said, listen to what she said.
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
Exactly. So they're cool with censoring the American people and advancing progress. But when they get shut up and they get shut down, Donald Trump hurt my feelings. The White House press conference, they kicked me out. God help me. No. That's them, dog. That's them. Matter of fact, send these two clowns in there. Send the Hodge twins in there. Send them clowns in there. They will clown all day long. They will go ham. They would. You know what I'm saying? What? Listen to this. Look at this. Look at this.
The executive order by President Biden that wiped out these trillions from our balance sheet. President Trump signed an executive order instructing me as the Secretary of Interior to unban that ban, and that's been accomplished. And so those are back on the U.S. balance sheet.
So 625 million acres of offshore drilling territory is back on the balance sheet. That means we about to drill, baby, drill? Is what we saying. If you sitting at home right now on your sofa and you got the remote next to you, or whatever you got in your hand, put it down. Just tell me, put it down. And I want you to do like this. And I want you to wave goodbye to inflation. Say, bye inflation, buy inflation, buy high gas prices, buy high food prices, buy. I see you later. Let's do this. Let's do the royal wave. Bye. See you later. I see you later. I'll see you next time. Because that's what's coming down the pipeline. Yeah, that's what's coming barreling down the pipeline. I hear a train a-coming. It's coming round the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. That's where America was. And time kept moving on. Yeah, that's where we were, but that's not where we at right now. Go ahead, finish telling us what you were saying, Doug. Anybody know somebody named Doug? Let me tell you something. Everybody I ever met that name was Doug was a gangster.
Okay. Sorry, which one is that? The 625 million acres of offshore that was banned from further lease sales.
Further anything.
And 625 million acres is
Right.
1/3 the size of the lower 48 that was taken off our balance sheet. It's back on there now. President Trump cares about the American people. He knows that these public lands belong to the public. They don't belong to Washington bureaucrats from the prior administration. And we're going to make sure that we get a return on investment for the American people.
The amount of money that he took off our balance sheet, if you look at it as a balance sheet, it was incalculable. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And he did that, I guess, in the last few days of the administration. He just wiped it out. 635 million acres, which if you sit down and look, it's like that's a major part of the ocean. And he just gave it away and took it away. And fortunately, it wasn't done with an act of Congress or anything. And we did it in a, I think, very abbreviated, very quick, and very legal procedure. And it's now back on our balance sheet. It's back as part of our country. What they did was so horrible. It was just a terrible thing.
And what I don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to just, I'm going to write this book. And this book is going to be called Kitchen Table Politics. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all, and I might have to change the name that I told y'all the name. Somebody might steal my name. But the concept is, how do you communicate with your liberal friends and parents and aunties and uncles about what is really going on? I'm going to give you a little bit of a secret. The first thing you need to understand is that they are under a spell. Yeah. The news media has cast a spell against them. So when you try and talk to them, it's like you're telling them logic, but logic don't register in their brain because they're under a spell, right? And you hear people say words are spells. You know, this is part of the whole overall general Gnostic knowledge movement. Yeah, dog, you know, you got to be careful what you say because words are spell. I don't tell people good morning. I tell them good rising. Really? That's what you worried about? Now, there's 100% truth in what they're saying. I mean, they're not lying. It's just been misappropriated and turned into a Gnostic thing where it exalts their pride and I know something more than you know. You don't want to do that. You come across like a butthead, like Beavis and the Butthead. You don't want to be Beavis and the Butthead. Here's how you do it. You sit down with them, and before you sit down, you say, Lord, I want to talk to my mama. I want to talk to my auntie. I want to talk to my uncle. I want to talk to my daughter about what's going on. And so, Lord, I ask that you take my tongue and that you in your infinite wisdom and your knowledge, you pull out of me and pour out of me in my spirit what it is that's going to break through to them. And then when you walk in a room where there is, you just mumble under your breath, I bind and rebuke every wicked spirit that has their ears closed and their eyes closed in the name of Jesus Christ. And I decree and declare that they must be open. And then you sit down and you have a regular conversation. Y'all talking about football, basketball, baseball. There's going to come a time orchestrated by God himself where it swings in the direction of politics. Most likely they're going to bring it up. They're going to say, well, I don't understand why Donald Trump did this. And you say, you know, speaking of Donald Trump and what's been going on, remember when Joe Biden left out of office and how he banned offshore drilling? You remember that? No, he didn't do that. Do you mind? With your permission, can I show you what he did? Sure, show me. You show it to him. You say, let me ask you a question. Now, probably by then the Lord will pick up, but this is just me talking. Let me ask you a question. If the gas prices is high, doesn't that affect the prices of everything? Food, utilities, everything? Well, yeah, it does. All right, so if he intentionally raised the prices of these things by banning drilling, we would have to logically say that that's a bad thing for America, right? Well, yeah, but you know, he did it because of this. Well, it's not about, we're not getting into opinion. It's just, is it good or evil? Was it good or bad? Well, it was good for the climate. Okay. Well, was it good for you? Is it good for your daughter? Is it good for your job? What is it good for? How does it affect you? And I say to you this, you know, it affects you extremely negatively. Extremely negatively. And Donald Trump just undid it. Yeah. And so when the gas prices come down and the food prices come down and everything comes down, It was because of the decision that he made, which affected us. And I would just say, there's been a lot of decisions that he made that seem to be working out. And so I just think sometimes you got to judge the tree by its fruit as opposed to what people say. People say a lot of things and then go about your business. But the Lord will take over. He'll take your tongue and he'll just whip them across the head with your tongue. And see, the beauty of it is when he does it, he plants seeds. So when we do it on our own, sometimes we scar the person and offend them. And now they're an offense and they upset and they mad and they got to prove you right. I got to go look up what I could find to prove him right. No, let God do it to him. Because he's going to plant a seed. And then in the middle of the night, they're going to be sitting there and something going to pop up on YouTube and it's going to explain it to them. Or they're going to be riding, listening in the car, listening to their liberal news station, and they're going to say something. It's going to click. The problem is we try and do everything on our own, and we ain't made to do it on our own. We made to have a partner. Holler at your partner, have your partner help you with it. How do I know? Know how. I've done it. All right. Let's go on to the next thing. Elon Musk. It says that Elon Musk's DOGE was hacked. I want to see a little bit about this. DOGE was hacked. It says their website was hacked, but let's see. Let us see. The DOGE website hacked and defaced internet laughing at Musk. Meeting of the U.S. government executive branch while the experts left their database open. RORO. Okay. Let's see what this liberal guy has to say. Because the premise of this is DOGE has been hacked. They violated FERPA to get my data, and they aren't even competent enough to keep it safe. Ain't nobody get your data, crazy looking boy.
Okay, so I'm trying to sign up for DOGE. Okay, so I'm trying to submit, and you see that we get this failure. If you go and look at what the failure is, you can see that the upload of my resume is failing and it's 404ing. And so I was like, oh, I bet that that's how this happened. Because if you look in the URL here, there is this like org ID and it has like some kind of UUID in it. You can see that they have been cross-site script attacked. So somebody was able to upload something, and it's like these experts left their database open. And so, yeah, because there's like some download thing. So, yeah, not only can I not submit myself to be a DOGE person, but it looks like they have some problems on the official DOGE.gov website. So.
It looks like they got some problems on the official DOGE.gov website. So, I wonder if they still got problems. Does anybody know how to get to the DOGE website? How you get to the DOGE website? Let me go to GetLiner, because I be telling y'all about stuff. Let me go to my buddy GetLiner. Yeah, this is my friend. Hey, I want the link to the DOGE website. Now, of course, somebody gonna be trying to hack their damn website. It makes common sense that the website, people will be trying to hack the damn website. X.com website. Boom. Go to the website. Doge.gov. Let's see. Latest work. 1.9 billion in HUD money was just recovered after being misplaced during the Biden administration due to a broken process. These funds were earmarked for the administration of financial services, but were no longer needed. Secretary Turner at DOGE worked together to fix it. Let's just click around. Receipts are coming soon, no later than Valentine's Day. Workforce. Looks like it's up to me. Executive branch, 2,016,000. Wages 11 billion. Cabinets, large independent agencies, medium independent, small independent agencies. Looks like this is working to me. Wow, these are a lot of agencies. Regulations, Unconstitutionality index. Maybe they got hacked and they fixed it. I mean, well, let's see. About, established, blah, blah, blah. That sent me to the White House page. Can I get back? Come on, bro. You're not going to let me go back? Okay, here he is. Join. Somebody who wanted to join. Submit an application. Yeah, I'm not seeing much of a hack going on. This is today at 2:40. Looks like we're updated. 1.9 billion of HUD money was just recovered after being misplaced during the Biden administration. Today's contract update: 167 cancellations, saving 115 million, including 2.23 million contracts for HHS for equity assessments of existing program policies. The Department of Education terminated grants for equity assistance centers totaling 33 million. One provided professional learning about critical race theory and race literacy. I just canceled a 50 million Biden era environmental justice program. Looks like everything is working to me, buddy. Now, you played yourself by going on the internet and laughing about it like, I was trying to sign up and they got hacked. You just played the hell out of yourself, boy. But you part of that generation that don't know no better. You part of that generation that don't know no better. And I understand it. You don't know no better? You don't know no better. What? Multiple people have been shot during the Eagles Super Bowl celebration. At this time, numerous police officers are on the scene after a shooting. Now, I'm going to say this about people. I don't know what's going on in Philly. But see, in New Orleans, we won a Super Bowl. And guess what we did? We had a parade. Ain't nobody get shot. People went into the streets that night, riding around, blowing their horns, hanging out the windows, celebrating. Ain't nobody get shot. Ain't nobody tear down no damn poles. Ain't nobody smash no windows. Why in Sam hell would you allow the spirit of lawlessness and restlessness to kick in during a time of celebration like this? This is crazy.
We're getting rolling. There's a stepping stool. We're going on that.
Man, where they busting shots? Ain't nobody busting shots. Promise you it was in the color people section where they started shooting. I promise you. I promise you. Oh, that's violent. I don't want to see that violence. Oh, buddy. Police investigating Alex Soros for conspiracy to assassinate Donald Trump. Oh, buddy. I'm not going to play this dude's content because I don't know him. And I want to look it up myself. We're going to dig into that later. Yeah, we're going to dig into that one later. Is Elon posting this? Yeah, they didn't elect none of them people. Elon, I agree with you. Let's dig into Eric Adams, because Eric Adams, watch this. Eric Adams went on with Tom Homan. And see, he done pissed all them Democrats off. They're trying to fire him and all the rest. This is Eric Adams. We're gonna spend a little time on this. I want to hear what happened here. Because you see, we had the money get cut off yesterday. The 50 million got cut off. Remember, we covered that. You probably covered that this morning. You heard it this morning. Or maybe you heard it last night. Whatever. I talked about the 50 million. I told you that they needed some leverage. And that they was going to get their leverage on old Eric. And now here Eric Adams is acting like he got some sense. So I want to hear what Eric said he going to do. I want to hear what he said they going to do.
Mr. Mayor, from your perspective, how did this meeting go? Why was it necessary?
Good. I think that, and Tom can speak for himself, I think he had a real level of frustration, and he was trying to figure out, hey, what's going on, Eric? What is happening? And we were able to get in the room and really articulate what are my powers, what are my authorities, and what are some of the things that we need to legislatively address that is preventing us from doing what we want to do, and that is getting dangerous people off our streets.
Right, and Tom Homan, as you know, Mayor, a couple days ago said he was angry at you in New York City because sounds like last time you guys got together over at Gracie Mansion, you probably said some stuff. Maybe we'd like to do this and that. And I think Mr. Homan, and Tom, you could start with this. You were frustrated that he wasn't doing enough. He wasn't keeping up his end of the deal.
Well, look, you know, I've been on the network for 4 years, and I've called the mayor out many times for not stepping up when it comes to public safety threats. But I tell you, when I sat down with him, I saw the cop in him. And he really does want to do the right thing because he is a cop. He's a lifelong cop. And so he wants to help take public safety threats off the streets in New York, make New York safer. He also wants to help find these missing children. We got 300,000 missing children. That many of them are here in this city. We know that. We got to find them. And we'll be working with his intelligence division, his officers, to save these children because many of these children are in forced sex trafficking. Many are in forced labor. We need to save them. And I think everybody can agree to that. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on.
Yeah, and you know, people want to hijack this narrative and turn it into a political narrative where we're saying we need to have public safety. I requested the meeting. I reached out to his team and said, we want to sit down. This has been an issue.
Yeah, you requested that they took $50 million from y'all clowns. Yeah. See, Eric Adams is a pawn. I mean, I said this yesterday. I said it maybe early. I don't know. I said this. Eric Adams is in a bad spot, man. You're in a bad spot. And unfortunately, he was the smart one out of the group to start maneuvering. Everybody else is dumb. I mean, they dumb as bricks. All the rest of these mayors is dumb. Karen Bash, dumb. The mayor of Colorado, what's that place in Colorado? Aurora, dumb. The little sheriffs around the place that's snitching and saying, yeah, you know, they're coming to get the illegals. Let's let them know. All y'all dumb, man. I'm sorry.
Issue I was talking about before the election, spring of 2022. You look at these quotes over and over again. We need to go after these dangerous people in our street. And now I have someone that understands that narrative, and we are fighting together to get it done.
I know Tom has been on our network so many times saying he felt like ICE's hands were tied under the last administration. You've agreed to sign an executive order to open up an ICE office at Rikers Island so that these dangerous criminals that are here illegally can be deported. Tell the folks at home, because they'll hear this, they'll say, oh, they're going to come after me next. You said these are the worst of the worst. So
now let's keep it real. They're going to come after you. They're going to come get you because they said we getting every illegal. Tom said that. So the best thing you could do is if you're here illegally, is self-deport. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Like they're sending people to Guantanamo Bay, man. I mean, how important is it to you? The man said he getting every illegal. They said every illegal. Trump said every illegal. Vance said every. They didn't say some. Now, what they're working on right now, ladies and gentlemen, is they're getting they're getting the most dangerous people because it's what's palatable to the American people. And while they're in the process of getting the most dangerous people, they're going to try and get something to save these children. Because the next narrative is, oh, you're separating families and you're doing this to children. So this logical thing to do is, let me get the dangerous child predators and all those different people who we clearly see they're arresting. And the gangbangers and the gangsters and the murderers and the people chopping heads off and all the rest of that. In the process, let's start saving some of these children. Next, what comes out is them announcing them saving the children. And as they announce the saving of the children, when the narrative starts about, oh, you're separating families, you're hurting children, there's another narrative that says, no, we're saving children. But it has to get to that point because, quite frankly, the American people, not the American people, Generation X and above, we can deal with this. Like I told you guys in the video yesterday evening, man, we grew up running around playing tackle football in the streets. So we can deal with hardcore truths. We escaped the jaws of death multiple times. I fell out of so many trees. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And if you are part of that generation, you could deal with, you got thick skin, you could deal with stuff, but we have generations of people here in America who all got a trophy. And it's the trophy generation that believes we're all equal in a sense of citizenship because they grew up getting a trophy. Oh, you came in last place, but here's the same size trophy as the first place guy. So in their mind, oh, this other person should get the same thing as me. No, that's not how that works. So they have to concern themselves with that mental mentality. And And they actually have to craft their strategy around that mindset.
Who is at Rikers Island that will be deported? What have they done?
And you bring in 2 points where the far left has hijacked this narrative. ICE is running in our schools, ICE is running in our churches, and they are creating this frenzy. They're not in the business of just grabbing children. And we need to, just stop all this noise. Rikers Island, particularly after all the reforms, Rikers Island is now having some of the most dangerous people in our city. And by having ICE on Rikers Island, part of our gang intelligence, using our intel with NYPD, correction officers, we could identify those gangs inside and outside on the street. There was no reason they were removed from Rikers Island. And as I sat down with Tom earlier, I said that we're going to look at all the legalese. I'm able to do an executive order to put them back on Rikers Island, what they should be with part of our criminal justice apparatus.
You have a left-wing legislature. Everybody knows it. And for some reason, nobody votes in New York, so the same left-wingers get in every time. But if you had your druthers, would New York City be a sanctuary city?
What we will always be. This has always been a city of immigrants.
So you think it should be?
Let me explain, because this is what's getting conflated all the time. With a sanctuary.
No, it's not getting conflated. It's dog. You said this is where you're trying to wiggle. You should just say, hey, I said that New York would always be a sanctuary city. Now he gonna try and weasel his way out. Everybody can go find clips where he said New York was gonna always be a sanctuary city. This way he about to lie. Just tell the truth, Eric. No, it can't be a sanctuary city. I'm sorry. They're not in the sense that we've been talking about. Now, the city has been a sanctuary for legal immigrants. And it's a city full of legal immigrants. He probably going to say what I'm saying.
City is stated that if you're in this city and you're paying taxes, you should have access to the services. What I asked the city council to do, change the bill that was already in place and modify it, that if you are committing a crime, that we should be able to collaborate with ICE, even on civil enforcement, if you have committed a crime. That part of the bill is...
Look how Tom Homan looking at him. He's looking at him like, Trick, that ain't what we discussed. Look at it. Look right there. No, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see my finger. Look at this look on it. He's like, Trick, you messing up.
Wrong. But everyday people who are here until they're moving to be documented, if they are going to school, working, paying taxes, then they should be able to provide police services, hospital services.
No, that ain't what we've been saying. See, and this is where he about to get himself in trouble. That ain't what was said. I got to see how Tom
children should go to school. That is what we're saying.
You don't agree with that, Tom?
I don't agree. I think sanctuaries are sanctuary criminals. But we walked out of the meeting yesterday, and getting back on Rikers Island is a game changer. We can get, not only we get the bad guys before they hit the street, the intelligence of how the TDA operates, where they're operating, all this intelligence they gather at Rikers Island, we'll have access to. But no, I'm
gonna pause. We're gonna look at some more body language. Look how Eric Adams is sitting there. He's pouting because he found himself in a situation, and this is where Eric has to get his behind off the fence. Because see, Eric, you think you're gonna save your political career with this language. You're not gonna save your political career with language. It's gonna be saved with action. So in his mind, if I get the criminals off the street and lower the crime, then people will vote for me again. But no, this is not what these people telling you gonna do. So now we know that he's in this meeting for sure under duress, and he just rebelled live on national TV. When they asked him a tough question, he wanted to preserve himself. That was the opportunity for Eric to say, I don't want to put anybody in a panic. But the truth of the matter is, I did say that New York would be a sanctuary city. And I'm going to have to recant that statement. I did say that. I'm going to have to recant that statement. It's against the law of the land of the United States of America for you to be here illegally. And my advice to you would be, if you don't want to be deported, to self-deport. And I would say that's all I can say to you. As we're working through the criminals, at some point in time, we're going to get to you. And the best thing you can do is self-deport. And then I would shut up. And you're going to get attacked. It don't matter. He's in a spot where he's going to get attacked. But what he's doing right now is he's playing offense. He's going to have to get punished for it. He already got hit yesterday. The whole city got hit yesterday. I'm telling you. he gonna get punished.
I'm strictly against sanctuary city status just because I think sanctuaries are for criminals.
Right.
And
They're a magnet.
But the beauty here is that we're allowed to disagree.
Right.
But
You're not allowed to disagree on the law. You ain't allowed to disagree on the law. Murder is murder. Theft is theft. You ain't allowed to disagree on the law.
we do agree on the fundamental that no matter who you are, it should be saved. So that's what people are missing. My life is sitting down with people.
And now Tom Homan is looking at him again. Because what he's done is he's taken it verbally and said, we do agree on if your life is blah, blah, blah. So he just artificially made Tom Homan agree with him, with what he said. Let me listen to it again.
Where they're operating, all this intelligence they gather at Rikers Island, we'll have access to. But no, I'm strictly against sanctuary city status just because I think sanctuaries are for criminals.
Right.
And
they're a magnet.
But the beauty here is that we're allowed to disagree.
Right.
But we do agree on the fundamental that no matter who you are, it should be saved. So that's what people are missing. My life is sitting down with people I don't agree with 100% of the time. I don't agree with myself 100% of the time. But when Tom and I are in a room, we're both saying one thing. No matter who you are, if you're hurting innocent people in this city and in this country, you don't have a right to be in our country.
That ain't what we voted for, dog. That ain't what I voted for. Did you vote for a half-ass measure? Nah, I ain't vote for no half measure. No. I ain't vote for no half measure. No, that ain't what I voted for. What he's saying is not what I voted for. I didn't vote for that. Tom, I ain't vote for that, Tom. That's not the mandate you was given, Tom. Now, I'm interested in seeing how Tom replies to it, but that ain't the mandate that was given. We didn't vote for that. We said y'all spending millions and billions of dollars on illegal immigrants, people who should not be here, and they need to go. I'm sorry. And they need to come back in the right way. That's not what the people who are in line for legal immigration have said. The people who have been waiting for years to become an American citizen. They taking courses. They actually know more about civics than the average U.S. citizen. They ain't agree with that either. And it's amazing when you really listen to these people talk and you slow it down and you pay attention to what's said, the games that's being played. So I just want to see how Tom is going to come back.
Well, here's the thing. You can disagree on things, but Tom has made it very clear that if a politician stands in the way of the federal government executing the law, they are going to bring charges against people like you. And in fact, we've seen the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, go after officials already. So was that part of the conversation yesterday?
No, I didn't think it needed to be. I mean, we talked very frankly about, first of all, getting to Rikers Island, step one. That's the first step. We're working on some other things that we don't really want to talk about in open air just because the city council will be putting roadblocks up on us.
And I said yesterday, I said the $50 million is all about the city council. But it's also about checking him, too, because you're responsible for all this stuff, for paying for these people. Yeah, I'm 100% confident that Tom, ain't nobody supporting none of this stuff this man's saying.
The mayor and me have committed to several other things to make this city safer. Further collaboration. Again, city council, I don't like him. I think, and Mayor Adams, he's dealing with the sanctuary law, right? That an EO can't override.
Right.
So we're working on some things to work around some of these things. So we can
You're being careful the way you describe it.
I've got to be very careful because the city council, they hate me, right? The city council, they don't want immigration enforcement in this city.
Basically, he said we about to arrest they behinds. This is such an explosive situation. This is going to be fun to watch, man.
So we got to make sure that we collaborate in a smart way so we can get more bad guys off the street.
Yeah. That's the goal. And you said something that's very interesting. You said that elected officials who are standing in the way like me. Let's be clear. I'm not standing in the way. I'm collaborating against so many others that don't want to collaborate.
Well, now you're collaborating.
Like I said, go back to spring of 20.
Who is this guy? What's this guy's name? I like this guy. Whoever this guy is right here, I don't know his name. I don't watch Fox enough. I like him because he holding him accountable. Everybody else playing nice. He's like, no, Trick. Now you Now you cooperating, collaborating. Did he say cooperating or collaborating?
2022. I was saying we need to get dangerous people off our streets.
But it wasn't happening.
See, this is what I mean by holding people accountable. Thank you. Stop letting these chumps slide, man.
That's true. We dropped crime in this city at remarkable levels.
Did you help ICE?
In the level of enforcement for criminal actions, yes. The law says, Eric, you cannot do it for civil enforcement. But for criminal actions, yes. The police department, we have increased the number of officers assigned to our task force. Every morning we meet with our HIDA representatives, city, state, and federal level.
This is the second time they mentioned civil enforcement, guys. If you don't mind, give me a second. Let me just go make sure I have an understanding of this. For all of our sake, so we'll have a good definition. What is civil enforcement in terms of immigration? Civil immigration enforcement involves taking actions taken by immigration and customs to apprehend, arrest, interview, and search aliens in connection with administrative immigration violations. So that would be these actions target specific aliens, including those with criminal conviction, gang members, national security, public safety threats, aliens who have been ordered to remove from pardon, aliens who illegally re-enter the country after removal. All right. Screw Mayorkas. The increasing number of civil immigration enforcement actions in courthouses is partly due to some jurisdictions' unwillingness to cooperate with ICE in transferring custody of aliens. So it's defined as targeting specific aliens, including those with criminal convictions, gang members, national security, or public safety threats, aliens who have been ordered removed but failed to report, and aliens who have been ordered to remove but failed to report. So it's a legal status of you being ordered to be removed, and that's how you get everybody. Okay, gotcha. Let's get back to Eric Adams. Sorry, guys. I needed to know for my own knowledge. Did that even? I don't know if it showed it to you, but I read it to you, so you get it. We got it. We're on the same page. Let's go.
Public safety, number one. I've always pursued this. Everyone knows that's
now,
what
Mr.
I
Mayor,
stand.
what is City Council, what are they saying about you wanting to change the wording where we could go after the illegals, even if they're paying taxes, if they commit a crime? Because I saw Vicky Palladino. I know she's a New York City Councilwoman. She's a Republican. Mm-hmm. And then Robert Holden is a moderate Democrat.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no Republicans in New York City Council, because it's extremely liberal. So she may be saying she's a Republican. She ain't no damn Republican.
Both of them, if you were to talk to them about that change, they would tell you we agree with Eric.
Okay.
But the overwhelming number of council members who have made it clear that they're not going to modify that law.
Why? What is their reason? Why would they protect the criminal?
Well, I think that you look at many of the policies that I put in place. Put in my anti-gun union, 20,000 guns removed off the street, put in 1,000 cops back in the subway system to bring down crime. All of these initiatives that I do around public safety, it's a constant fight with them, because I think many people are articulating their personal reasons and not the feeling that the city has. 78% of New Yorkers stand with me, stand with what Tom is doing about getting these dangerous individuals.
But the problem is we don't know whether they're dangerous till they kill. Like that guy that put this woman on fire because she fell asleep on the subway. He didn't have he didn't have a record, but after he lit up the woman on fire, now he's a problem. He didn't belong here. Same thing with Laken Riley's killer, who was housed here, went to Georgia and killed. So even though you say, well, we want to be open to people, we don't know these guys are criminals until they act, and then it's too late. Then they become a problem. But if they never got here, they wouldn't be a problem.
And that's what's good about what we're doing right now, what Tom, the border czar, has done. I've said it over and over again. We need to control our borders and not allow people to come into the country, gang members coming into the country, people who are here to commit crime. I think what we've witnessed the border czar has done, we have seen a substantial decrease in that flow.
Tom, you know the NYPD. How frustrated are they that they can't fully have your back, be able to tell them exactly where these guys are, be able to go into these raids with you?
Oh, they're frustrated. I mean, the NYPD wants to protect their streets too, and they want to enforce the law, and they want to collaborate with us. I mean, I don't think I met a single uniform in the 4 years I've been coming to the studio that sit out front. I shake everyone their hands. We had dinner with officers last night, not only from NYPD. We had dinner with officers from Newark and from Philadelphia. We had a whole table full of officers that want to do the right thing. They want to collaborate with ICE. But I think yesterday's meeting, I came to New York City, I wasn't going to leave without nothing.
Right.
I did the last time, and I told them I'm not leaving until I got something. And we're back into Rikers, that's huge. But we got other things we're working on. So I'm hoping, and now I got him on the couch in front of millions of people. He can't back waving us now, right? So I think you're going to see things move in the right direction. I really, truly believe that.
And we don't want to give the false impression that there's no collaboration around criminal justice. We collaborated with ICE to take down a very dangerous gang member who was trying to put grenades in our city, caught with a gun. So there's real collaboration with HIDA, our criminal justice apparatus on the city, state, and federal level. We want ICE to come and be a part of that meeting as well.
Governor Hochul said last night with Rachel Maddow that she would consider removing you. How would you feel about that?
She has her role, I have my role. And throughout this entire ordeal, which I think no American should have to go through, the torment of 15 months that my family and I had to endure for something I didn't do. I didn't do anything wrong. Throughout the entire ordeal, I said one thing. My attorney will handle the legal part. I'm going to handle running the city. We return jobs to our city. Our city is getting safer. We're building housing. I think that this is a great American narrative where I stood focused on what I was elected to do.
I want you to address the
Governor Hochul is an embarrassment position she holds. She stands on media after someone's burned alive on a subway. She stands in front of TV cameras and says, I think criminal aliens should be removed too. But she's got the green light law. The men and women of ICE and Border Patrol, when they pull a vehicle over, law enforcement, you're in law enforcement your whole career. What's the first thing you would do? You run the license plate number. Are these wanted? Is there a warrant for these people? Who are they? Are they dangerous? Is that car stolen? All these things, right? Do you know ICE and CBP can't run DMV data on New York State license plate? So they're pulling over people not even know who the hell they are.
Is that the green light law?
The green light law. So she, on one point, she's saying, well, I think criminals should be removed too, but then she locks us out of DMV data. That'd be like us locking officers out of the NCIC, the Fed zone. Would we do that? No, because officer safety is paramount. She's putting the men and women at ICE at risk every day. The job's already dangerous. So Governor Hochul, she needs to be removed. Everybody needs to be removed. It needs to be her. She supports sanctuary policies.
I don't know anyone who thinks she's doing a good job. She's an embarrassment. It's hard for me to be impartial on that.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. The migrant shelter, it's this called a mega migrant shelter that's going to be built in the Bronx. We interviewed a representative from the Bronx, and he said he talks to everyone on the street. Not one person wants that facility built. What's the status on that? Is there any way we can...
That's a great, you know what's interesting? If I go to anywhere in the city, when I had 220,000 migrants here, anywhere in the city, and ask who would like a shelter there, not one elected would raise a hand. And then you ask them the next question, how many of you went to Washington, D.C. under the previous administration and said you need to stop this? I took 10 trips there. So you cannot represent your concern merely from the sterilized environment of your office space. They should have been with us saying we need to stop this flow, and they weren't. And so the shelters have to go somewhere.
He's a masterful politician, guys. I mean, let me tell you something. The level of NLP that this man functions at is amazing. I mean, that shift that he did just now was so damn seamless. And the justification behind it, he didn't say that the shelter was a bad thing. He moved you from people saying they don't want the shelter to you didn't go with me to talk to DC about what was going on with the shelter, just saying it has to go someplace. Wow. In front of the head of ICE, knowing that they about to put 20,000 illegals into somebody's neighborhood. That's wild. I mean, the audacity. I mean, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. Well, how long is the federal government going to be paying for the Roosevelt Hotel or any of these other sanctuary hotels?
We're continuing to close them down because of the job that we did. 180,000 out of our system. We closed down Floyd Bentonfield.
So one at a time, you're closing them down?
No, more than one at a time. We have to close down as the population decrease. We put in place a 30 and 60-day plan. No one can stay longer than that.
Because your president that you were working for and what work for his reelection let that happen and didn't take your phone calls when you asked for help.
100%.
He
I agree.
iced you out. So
right.
you're gonna have a decision.
That's a good point.
Right.
Well, the days of the federal government paying the migrant centers are over.
Good.
Right.
So, Mr. Mayor,
yes,
you're gonna run for reelection?
Yes.
Are you considering running as a Republican?
I'm gonna run on the Democratic line. We petitioning to starting soon. Running as a Democrat. There's a many Democrats, like you look at those 78% that believe what we do, what ICE is doing about getting dangerous people out. I think that we have to get people out to vote. That is the problem.
But you're losing by about 25 points to former Governor Cuomo, who wants to be Mayor Cuomo.
Well, listen to this. I had another Andrew in my previous race. He was beating me by double digits in February, but we don't call Andrew Yang mayor. We call Eric Adams mayor. Never give up. New Yorkers never give up. People had me gone months ago, but you know what? I'm sitting on your couch talking to Fox
You are
and
sitting
Friends.
today talking about the new alliance between ICE and Adams. So thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you. Alliance was never severe.
And if he doesn't come through,
you're up early anyway.
If he doesn't come through, I'll be back in New York City, and we won't be sitting on the couch. I'll be in his office, up his butt, saying, "Where the hell is the agreement we came to?" So,
I want ICE to deliver, and I want ICE to deliver. We're going to deliver for the safety of the people of this city. Let's focus on every American in New York should have the right to have an opportunity and survive in this city.
We're going to hold you to that.
American first. Thank you, Tom. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank
you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
That was a smart interview. And I'll tell you why it was smart for him to do that interview. It was a tough interview for Eric Adams. He's a damn good politician. And what I mean by politician, people are like, he's a terrible politician. Well, man, a politician is nothing more than a great speaker and a great influencer. That's why a majority of the people that you find on YouTube could eventually be phenomenal politicians. They have the ability, the gift, the gab to talk and influence people. But that was a tough interview. It really was. And for him to end it that way, it just goes to show how intelligent he is, but it also shows how much of a damn snake he is. And for Tom to end it that way is very significant. Tom said, and what they were doing is they ran cover for him to give him some support against the city council, who clearly is coming up against him. And so they're basically saying, no, we're embracing him. We got his back. But it was a tough conversation because he had to go out into the public. He had to answer some tough questions. He dodged some of the questions. He redirected a lot of the questions. It was a good job. And what I anticipate happening next is the city council about to get so much pressure, it's going to be ridiculous. So Kathy Hochul saying she's going to remove him. Technically, with him cooperating with ICE and Kathy Hochul removing him, Kathy Hochul's done behind could get arrested because she's interfering what's being done with ICE. That's why it's very important that he actually does what he told Tom Mahomey he was going to do, which is give them that office inside of Rikers Island, because what that does is it guarantees that she can't remove him. Because if she removes him, now she's interfering with what was going on with ICE. And you notice that Tom Homan came out earlier, maybe it was yesterday, and he talked about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the Starbucks girl, right? Big booty Starbucks girl. And he said, I'm not a lawyer, but I've sent this up for legal, not necessarily legal referrals, but for clarification as to who's breaking the law, who's not breaking the law. And we noticed yesterday all the DOJ prosecutors were fired. And so what we see lining up right now, ladies and gentlemen, is it's kind of like a cobra that's waking up. And you know how the king cobra comes up and it starts doing like this, and it's swaying back and forth. The cobra's head is up like this, Cobra Kai till I die, and it's just swaying back and forth. You can play around if you want to. That cobra can strike you at very long lengths, the length of its whole body, and it's just like this. And the beauty of it is the maneuver. And this is what I really love about everything that Donald Trump does. Donald sets a trap, and it makes it your responsibility to walk into that trap. He sets a trap. You walk your stupid behind in that trap if you want to, and there is no remorse for you. He's done it over and over and over again. This is the same thing. So now Eric Adams has some support. the minute he starts to cooperate in the manner in which he's cooperating, which is why that charge was dropped, and that was a part of a negotiation. Now he's cooperating. Now he's under the wing and he's under the protection. And if she goes at him, now she is the one that's interfering with ICE's work. It's a blatant interference. So he's protected in his seat as mayor. Now, does that mean that Kathy Hochul crazy behind won't do it? She crazy. But it's going bad for her. Let me see what she said myself. It was Rachel Maddow, which I don't even know how to spell her name. Maddow. And Hochel. 19 hours ago. Let's see what they actually said.
What we've just seen with the resignation of the U.S. Attorney, the Trump-appointed acting U.S. Attorney, the removal of line prosecutors on that case, the demand from Maine Justice to drop that case, the refusal from SDNY to do it, then the resignation of Maine Justice officials who had the case dumped on them, and they wouldn't take it either. This is just an incredible drama in terms of federal law enforcement right now. But you are in a very unusual position, a singular position with regard to this case, which is that thanks to the New York State Constitution and New York City law, you are the only person who has the power to effectively fire Mayor Eric Adams and remove him from this position, which might conceivably moot this whole fight. How are you thinking about that now? You could have done it at any point until now, but now, given this crisis that's emerged in federal law enforcement around this case, are you feeling differently about that responsibility?
Let me tell you from a couple of angles here. One is that this is unbelievably unprecedented for the Department of Justice in Washington to interfere in this way. My husband was a 30-year federal prosecutor. Barack Obama made him his United States attorney. You look at what happened here. This is not supposed to happen in our system of justice. The Bondi administration in that Department of Justice is already showing they're corrupt. Now, set that aside. I did see the letter that was issued by the acting United States attorney. The allegations are extremely concerning and serious.
Yes.
I want to bring to your attention, again, another woman with a Joker smile. Look at the side of her mouth. See how that smile, she's not smiling, but see how it goes all the way up beyond her cheek, how that line is all the same spirit. See it? I just want to bring it to your attention. They all have the same damn thing. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. I don't. But let me just go real quick. Watch this. Karen Bass. Karen. Same thing. Same Joker. Same thing. See what I'm saying? It's always the same, man. It's always the same. But you need to see it. All right, let's get back to these clowns and then we done.
Nation of the U.S. Attorney, the Trump-appointed acting U.S. Attorney, the removal of line prosecutors on that case, the demand from Maine Justice to drop that case, the refusal from SDNY to do it, then the resignation of Maine Justice officials who had the case dumped on them, and they wouldn't take it either. This is just an incredible drama in terms of federal law enforcement right now. But you are in a very unusual position, a singular position, with regard to effectively fire Mayor Eric Adams and remove him from this position, which might conceivably moot this whole fight. How are you thinking about that now? You could have done it at any point until now, but now, given this crisis that's emerged in federal law enforcement around this case, are you feeling differently about that responsibility?
Let me tell you from a couple of angles here. One is that this is unbelievably unprecedented for the Department of Justice in Washington to interfere in this way. My husband was a 30-year federal prosecutor. Barack Obama made him his United States attorney. You look at what happened here. This is not supposed to happen in our system of justice. The Bondi administration in that Department of Justice is already showing they're corrupt. Now, set that aside. I did see the letter that was issued by the acting United States attorney. The allegations are extremely concerning and serious.
Yes.
But I cannot, as the governor of this state, have a knee-jerk, politically motivated reaction like a lot of other people are saying right now. I have to do it smart, what's right, and I'm consulting with other leaders in government at this time. We've got to have one sane person in this state who can cut through all the crap and say, What is my responsibility? Guide me to do. And just as when the allegations came out last September, and the city was in chaos, I said, I will intercede, work with the mayor to get rid of a lot of people who are under indictment, calm it down, bring in a new police chief commissioner who's doing an outstanding job. Our subways are safer. People are feeling better around the city. More people are coming back. I don't want our rebirth to be stopped by this. I have to maintain stability and the chaos and do what's right for the city of New York, because as governor, I also represent the city. These are my constituents as well. I'm going to make sure they're protected here. So if this just happened, I need some time to process this and figure out the right approach.
But you are consulting with other leaders, consulting with your advisors, and looking anew at this matter,
Of course I am.
Given the recent
Of course I am.
Governor.
Nah. You know what she consulting with? She consulting with them attorneys that's telling her, Kathy, listen, don't fall into this trap, Kathy. If you fire that man and he working with ICE, they gonna come get you. Yeah, because you are impeding ICE. They gonna come get you, Kathy. They gonna come get you. Then behind the scene, there's people saying, no, Trump saying, I want Letitia James, I want Alvin Bragg, I want all these people. Kathy, you better get your behind out of the way. With your little stupid joker smile, better get out the way. She ain't gonna get in the way. I'm telling you, she ain't getting in the way. If she's smart, she is not getting in the way. That's the dumbest thing on the planet. Yeah, because you see, all it takes is for one of these politicians to get arrested and do that perp walk. And Tom, you're gonna have to perp walk somebody, my friend. I'm sorry. Somebody gonna have to get perp walk for these people to understand you ain't playing games. The sooner you perp walk somebody, the better it's gonna be. Yeah. The media's having this meltdown. They're going to melt down either way it go. But you're going to have to perp walk somebody, Tom. And I thought Eric was going to be the person that get perp walk, but Eric, he got smart. So it's probably going to be Cortez or most likely Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson probably about to get perp walked. And if I could think of anybody that should get perp walked, it is Brandon Johnson. For those of you guys who don't know who Brandon Johnson is, you need to see this arrogant clown. Chicago. Who just called me? Mayor Brandon Johnson. Now remember, this is old Brandon Johnson. This ain't new Brandon Johnson. But let me see if I can find something more recent on Brandon Johnson for y'all. Cause this Negro here, this Negro right here, he be on some other stuff. Like they need to put him under the prison. Yeah, they need to put him under the prison. Oh, this is his little closet that all the contention was about, where he had his all clothes and stuff. Let me see something. This'll do it. This'll go.
Chicago residents' outrage over the city's sanctuary policies erupted at a city council meeting yesterday. They gave Mayor Brandon Johnson and Chicago Democrats an earful for prioritizing illegal immigrants over struggling Americans, and rooted for, listen to this, President-elect Trump.
So, Brandon, you and all these Democratic mayors out here and governors, y'all talking about crashing out for these illegals, right? You all sit up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want to forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you
keep your,
hold on a second, stop her time.
Our mayor is embarrassing us, y'all, around the world. And you all took the power back from him to say the city of Chicago is out of the business of funding illegals. We are out of the business of prioritizing non-American citizens on top of the American citizens who go out in this cold weather every day to make money to pay their taxes.
You so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens.
Here you are with another gritty property tax hike, trying to push the have-nots to house your precious illegal immigrants. You told Trump you ain't gonna blink? Well, we ain't either. You ain't above the law, and where you gonna run to when Trump pulls that Trump card out on you? I will make it my duty to try to get my gun to perform an Operation Great Lord 2.0 in Chicago and lock all of you crooked Democrats and judges up, and it's just like that.
This is the election in a nutshell. I mean, if you could sum it up.
Now, here's what I need you to understand. I'm not going to go any further. You see, I think he's the main candidate for them handcuffs. Old Brandon Johnson. Yeah. And see, there's the support in that city for Brandon going to prison. If Brandon went to prison, people would go out into the streets and have a parade. That's why I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, that Brandon Johnson is going to be the one. Now, you may say, well, DW, it was only 3-4 people talking. You got to understand, in politics, one person represents 1,000. 2 people represents 2,000. You get 10, 15 people, man. You're talking about 15, 20,000 constituents that are against you because it's a cross-section of the belief system. And these are the people who felt so passionately that they decided they was going to speak. But that doesn't mean that everybody doesn't feel the same way. In fact, it means that the majority of them feel the same way. That's how it works in politics. That's why if you call a politician and you tell them something, your one phone call counts for 1,000 calls. You get 100 people to call, they start being afraid because they don't get that type of response. Most politicians go about their day. They may see a constituent out in the mall or something, or not even at mall, at dinner, and they're like, and it's the upper echelon of society, and they're like, hey, Mayor, how you doing? It's good to see you. I'm such and such, and man, I think you're doing a wonderful job at what you're doing today, and I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor. And they get, people kiss up to them. But when you got people up there screaming at you like this, and they represent a black community that you're supposed to be taking care of, and they voted for you, boy, you got a problem on your hands. Yeah, you got a problem on your hands. So I'm just going to say, I think it's going to be Brandon Johnson. Yes, Brandon is going to go. Brandon is going to go. But somebody, Tom Homan, got to get the cuffs. Somebody got to get the old cuff links put on both wrists. Somebody got to get them. And I'm hoping and praying, Jesus, make it Brandon. And make it fast. Jesus, don't wait. Make it fast. Yeah, I wanted to see it fast. All right. That hour went by real quick. I got to go. It's Valentine's Day. I got to go be a funny Valentine's.